Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going deep, really deep into the world of engraving.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So for our listeners out there who are interested in the history of engraving, we've got a really cool mix of sources for you.
Oh, cool.
We've got encyclopedia entries, timelines, even some biblical references, believe it or not.
Oh,
We're going to cover it all.
I'm excited.
And you know what's really amazing is that the earliest evidence of engraving, it's not from some, Renaissance artist or something like that.
Right.
It's actually a shell tool from Indonesia,
Really?
dating back over 500,000 years.
Wow.
That's right. 540,000 years ago, somebody was already etching patterns.
I mean, that is just incredible.
Makes you wonder what they were thinking, doesn't it?
It really does spark the imagination. And, that early engraving wasn't just a one-off.
Right.
If we jump ahead a little bit, a few thousand years to 60,000 BC, we find ostrich eggshells in South Africa that are decorated with engraved patterns. And they were using these shells as water containers, but they still felt compelled to embellish them.
So they were practical,
Yeah.
but they were also
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah, it speaks to this human desire to create, I think, to personalize even practical objects.
To personalize. It's like they were saying, hey, even our water containers can be beautiful.
Exactly.
But when we think about ancient jewelry and all those intricate designs,
Right.
were those really engraved?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And a lot of those ancient designs weren't actually engraved. They were created by chasing or casting,
Okay.
not by cutting into the metal.
Okay.
True engraving on metal emerged a little bit later.
Okay.
We start seeing shallow grooves on jewelry around the first millennium BC.
Okay.
But it really wasn't until the first century AD that glass engraving really takes off.
Glass engraving. Yeah, particularly in decorating vessels.
So those stunning engraved glass vessels that you see in museums,
Right.
they were like the canvas for early engravers.
You could say that they were using wheels for cutting at this point, which allowed for greater precision than hand tools.
Right.
And the designs were fascinating.
I bet.
Early on, you see a lot of Greek mythology
Okay.
reflecting the cultural influences of the time.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But later on, you see scenes of hunting, you see circus spectacles, you even see biblical imagery.
Wow.
It's like a visual record of their lives and beliefs.
It makes you wonder, if those vessels were just for, everyday use,
Right.
or if they had a special significance because of the engravings.
That's a question worth pondering for sure.
Yeah.
And it speaks to a broader theme we see throughout the history of engraving, this interplay between artistry and functionality,
Right.
Sometimes the lines blur.
Yeah.
Take, for instance, the role of medieval goldsmiths.
Okay, goldsmith?
Right. They were decorating metalwork, obviously, but they were also using engravings to record their designs, almost like blueprints.
So they were like the original design files.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it was a revolutionary step, really.
Yep.
This ability to record designs allowed for greater consistency.
Okay.
They were able to reproduce these designs accurately
Right.
and potentially even share ideas with other goldsmiths.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a crucial link to what we now call old master prints,
Right.
which emerged in the 1430s when we start seeing engraved copper plates
Okay.
that were specifically being used for creating images on paper.
Mm.
Germany kind of took the lead with this,
Okay.
and Italy followed closely behind.
So now we're entering what's considered the golden age of engraving. Art,
Really?
the 1470s to the 1530s, right?
Exactly.
This is where names like Martin Schongauer, Albrecht Dürer.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. These artists were masters of their craft.
Right.
Dürer, in particular, was a pioneer in using line engraving to explore perspective and anatomy. He was really pushing the boundaries of what was possible.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that even music was being printed from engraved plates.
Music.
Yeah, as early as 1446.
Wow, music engraving.
Yeah.
So that predates sheet music as we know it, right?
Right.
But I'm curious, what kind of technical innovations were happening during this golden age of engraving?
Well, there are several.
Yeah.
One that stands out is the introduction of stippling.
Stippling.
Around 1505 by Giulio Campagnola.
Stippling, what is that exactly?
So stippling involves using dots rather than lines to create tonal effects.
Okay.
So it gives a softer, more nuanced effect.
So instead of lines.
Yeah, imagine creating a portrait, right?
Okay.
Not with lines, but with thousands of tiny dots.
Wow.
Each carefully placed to suggest light and shadow.
That's incredible.
It is pretty amazing.
It seems like even within the limitations of line engraving. there was still so much room for artistic expression.
Absolutely. A great example is Claude Mellon.
Okay.
He was a 17th century French engraver,
Okay.
and he created this famous engraving called Sudarium of St. Veronica.
Mm.
And it's a portrait of Jesus's face, but get this, it's done entirely with a single, continuous, spiraling line.
Wait, a single line?
A single line.
That's mind-boggling.
It is quite remarkable.
Yeah.
The level of skill and planning involved is astounding.
I can imagine.
You know, imagine the precision needed to modulate the thickness of that single line
Right.
to create the illusion of light and shadow.
Right.
You know, capturing the contours of the face with such nuance.
It's like the ultimate test of an engraver's skill.
It really is.
Pushing the boundaries of what's possible with just one line.
Right.
I imagine that took a while.
It must have, yeah.
And speaking of time, didn't etching eventually become a popular alternative to engraving because it was faster?
You're right.
Yeah.
Etching, which uses acid to etch designs into metal plates, was considered simpler and less time-consuming than painstakingly carving everything out with a burin.
Right, right.
But even then, you know, masters like Rembrandt often combine both engraving and etching in their work.
Mm-hmm.
However, as we move into the 19th century,
Okay.
engraving starts to shift away from its purely artistic focus,
Okay.
and it becomes more about commercial applications.
So it went from creating these unique artworks
Right.
to more of a mass production kind of thing.
Precisely.
Okay.
Think about all the illustrations you see in 19th century books and magazines.
Right.
Many of them were created using engraving techniques, especially line engraving and steel engraving.
Oh, okay.
It was a way to reproduce artwork,
Okay.
to create detailed illustrations for publications,
Right.
and even to produce things like letterheads and banknotes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
You know, photography wasn't widely used for printing yet.
Right.
So engraving kind of filled that gap.
It did.
And I can see why they'd use steel for banknotes.
Yeah, durable.
Durable, and it could withstand a lot of handling, right?
exactly.
But did that shift towards commercial use mean the end of artistic engraving?
Not at all.
No.
Hand engraving found a niche in specific fields
Okay.
where people valued that unique handcrafted touch.
Okay.
You know, think firearms,
Yeah.
jewelry, silverware, things like that.
Right.
And in the mid-20th century, there was actually a revival of hand engraving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, thanks to pneumatic systems.
Okay.
These systems made the process less physically demanding, so less strain on the engraver's hands.
That makes sense.
Right. And that opened it up to more people.
Right.
Yeah.
So less strain on the hands, good for the engraver.
Yeah.
But what about, you know, the newer technologies like
Yeah.
CNC and laser engraving?
Yeah.
Have they completely replaced traditional hand engraving?
They certainly have their place in modern manufacturing, especially for mass production.
Right.
They're faster, they're more efficient. Right.
But hand engraving still holds a special place,
Right.
particularly for intricate work,
Right.
where that human touch
Right.
and artistry
Yeah.
are paramount.
It's like comparing a mass-produced piece of furniture to a handcrafted heirloom.
Right.
Right.
Both serve a purpose, but the
Yeah.
heirloom carries a different kind of value.
Absolutely. There's a soulfulness to those handcrafted items that you just don't get with mass production.
I agree.
But you know what? We haven't talked about music engraving yet.
That's right.
I'm really curious about how that evolved over time.
That is a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Remember how we mentioned the first printed music from engraved plates dates back to 1446?
I do?
Well, that was just the beginning.
Okay.
It became the dominant way to produce printed music from around 1700 to 1860.
Wow.
Imagine those engravers meticulously carving tiny notes, staff lines, intricate details,
Yeah.
all with specialized tools.
I'm picturing them all hunched over these plates, painstakingly carving each note.
Yeah, they must have been incredibly skilled.
They were true artisans.
Yeah.
They had 5-pointed rasters for the staff lines,
Okay.
punches for different note shapes,
Wow.
and specialized burins for finer details. And if they made a mistake,
Oh, no.
they couldn't just hit undo.
Right.
They would have to use a dot punch and burnish the plate to smooth out the error.
The pressure must have been immense.
It must have been. It's like they were writing music with a metal pen,
Right.
and it must have taken years to master that level of precision.
And what about those huge musical scores? Did they engrave those onto giant plates?
Not quite.
Okay.
They typically engraved 4 pages of music onto a single plate
Well.
to maximize efficiency.
Makes sense.
And speaking of materials, copper wasn't the only metal they used.
Ooh.
In 1837, pewter came into use.
Pewter. Okay.
It was softer than copper,
Okay.
So it required a cold inking process
Mm.
and a different type of printing press. But it allowed for more delicate lines and details, which was perfect for those intricate scores.
So even the materials evolved over time, driven by a need for both practicality and artistic expression.
Right.
But I have to ask, with all that meticulous work
Right.
that was put into creating these music plates, were there ever any major setbacks or losses in the history of music engraving?
Sadly, yes.
Oh, no.
Remember we talked about Leipzig being a center for music engraving and printing?
Yeah.
Well, during World War II, the city was heavily bombed.
Okay.
And almost half of the world's engraved music plates were destroyed.
That's terrible.
It was a catastrophic loss for musical heritage.
All that history.
I know.
All that artistry gone in an instant.
I know. It really is devastating.
Well,
it makes you realize how fragile even the most durable forms of art can be.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
But despite that terrible loss, music engraving continued to evolve, right?
It did by the 1990s. Music printing had transitioned to a combination of engraved master plates and offset lithography, allowing for mass production while preserving the quality of the original engravings.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a fascinating blend of the old and the new.
It is.
But now I'm curious, for our listener, what stood out to you most from this journey through the history of engraving?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
There were so many fascinating details.
Right.
But I think what struck me the most was just the enduring nature of this craft.
Yeah.
It's gone from prehistoric shells to security printing.
Wow.
For our modern financial systems. From decorating everyday objects to expressing artistic visions.
That's incredible.
It really is. It's a testament to human creativity and our desire to make our mark on the world.
I agree. And that desire to make a mark is really at the heart of engraving.
Right.
Whether it's an artist creating a masterpiece or a goldsmith recording a design.
Right.
Or even someone etching their initials into a tree, you know. It's a fundamental human impulse.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you know what? It makes me wonder what the future holds for engraving in a world that's increasingly dominated by digital technology.
Right.
Will it become a lost art? Or will it adapt and find new ways to express human creativity?
That is a fascinating question.
Isn't it?
And one we might want to explore a bit further.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we dive into the world of modern engraving?
Yeah.
See what the future might hold for this ancient craft?
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Great.
After all, we're on a deep dive.
That's right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so we've established that engraving has this long, amazing history.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
But where does it fit in today's world?
Right.
Is it all about lasers and machines now? Or is there still a place for that traditional handcrafted approach?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is it's a bit of both. You know, on the one hand, you've got these incredible technological advancements with CNC and laser engraving, which are fantastic for mass production and certain applications. But then on the other hand, you have this resurgence of interest in hand engraving. You know, that personal touch, the artistry that's unique to a human hand.
It's that difference between something made by a machine and something that has a story behind it.
Exactly.
It's made by someone who poured their skill and passion into it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And you see this appreciation for hand engraving in fields like firearms, jewelry, even musical instruments. You know, people are willing to seek out those artisans who can create something truly special, something one of a kind.
So it seems like hand engraving is finding its niche in those areas where people really value craftsmanship and that connection to the maker.
I think that's a great observation.
Yeah.
It's about more than just the object itself. It's about the story it tells, the skill it represents, that human element that's embedded in it.
That human element.
But speaking of stories, we haven't actually touched on those biblical references that you mentioned earlier.
Right.
I'm curious, how was engraving depicted in those ancient texts?
We can't forget about the biblical engravers.
Yeah.
What kinds of things were they engraving back then?
Well, the Bible gives us glimpses into how engraving was used in ancient Israelite society.
Okay.
You know, it mentions things like seal rings.
Seal rings.
Which were used for authentication and authority.
Okay.
Think of Judah's seal ring in the story of Tamar.
Right.
It was a way to prove his identity and commitment.
So it was kind of like a personalized signature.
Exactly.
But with like Much greater weight and significance.
Exactly. Yeah. And there are other references to engraving in a religion context.
Okay.
You know, the high priest's ephod, that elaborate ceremonial garment,
Right.
had 2 onyx stones on the shoulder pieces. And each one was engraved with the names of 6 of the tribes of Israel.
Wow.
It's a powerful image.
Yeah, it's like they were carrying the weight of their people on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Literally and symbolically.
Right.
It's incredible how engraving was used to convey
Yeah.
not just practical information, but also like deep cultural and spiritual meaning.
Yeah, and it wasn't limited to just the high priest. Even the holy sign of dedication on his turban, that gold plate, was engraved with the words, "Holiness belongs to Adonai."
Wow. So engraving was really deeply ingrained in their faith and rituals.
It really highlights the power of engraving, I think, to transform an object into something more, something that carries meaning and tells a story.
And, you know, speaking of skilled artisans, the Bible even names 2 specific craftsmen.
Oh, really?
Bezalel and Oholiab.
Okay.
And they were chosen by God to create all sorts of sacred objects for the tabernacle, including engraved items. They were like the rock stars of biblical engraving.
You know, they were more than just skilled craftsmen.
Right.
They were seen as like divinely inspired artists entrusted with the task of creating objects that would be used in worship and would represent God's presence.
It's like an apprenticeship program,
Yeah.
but with much higher stakes.
You could say that for sure.
Yeah, and it emphasizes how vital these crafts were to the ancient Israelites.
Right.
Engraving wasn't merely a practical skill.
Yeah.
It was considered a gift from God to be used for his glory.
Right.
It's amazing how we've gone from these ancient shells to divinely inspired artisans.
Yeah.
From decorating water containers to creating sacred objects.
It's pretty remarkable.
It really is. It's a testament to how engraving has been interwoven with human history and spirituality from the very beginning.
It really speaks to the enduring nature of this art form.
It does.
You know, it's a way for us to express ourselves, to connect with something larger than ourselves, to leave our mark on the world.
And that brings us back to the present day.
Okay.
Engraving may not be as ubiquitous as it once was.
True.
But it's certainly not a lost art.
Right.
It's found new ways to thrive.
It has
new stories to tell.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes exploring the history of engraving so compelling.
Yeah.
It's not just about looking back.
Right.
It's about understanding the roots of an art form that continues to evolve and find new meaning in the modern world.
And it's a reminder that even in our digital age, there's still a place for traditional skills, for that connection between hand and material.
Yeah.
That sense of history and craftsmanship.
Absolutely.
But if we're going to talk about the future of engraving, we need to delve into the world of modern engraving masters.
Okay.
The people who are keeping this craft alive and pushing it in new directions.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
There are so many talented engravers out there. Yeah.
Each with their own unique style and approach.
It's amazing.
I'm excited to see what we discover.
Me too. And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe our listener will be inspired to pick up a burin.
Right.
And try their hand at engraving.
Yeah. You never know where this deep dive might lead.
That's right. You never know.
Let's meet some of these modern masters then.
Okay.
Who should we start with?
All right. So we've explored the ancient roots of engraving.
We have.
And we've seen how it's adapted over the centuries.
Yeah. It's been a long journey.
But now I'm really excited to dive into the world of modern engraving masters.
Yeah, me too.
The people pushing the boundaries of this craft today.
Absolutely.
Who are they? Well, there are so many talented artists to choose from.
I bet.
It's hard to know where to even begin.
Right.
But I think a good place to start would be someone like Sam Alfano.
Okay, Sam Alfano.
Yeah, he's a renowned American engraver.
Okay.
Specializing in firearms.
Firearms engraving.
Yeah.
That's something I've always found fascinating.
It is really cool.
Those intricate designs, the level of detail.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible. It seems like a real blend of artistry and technical skill.
It is, and Alfano is a master of both.
Yeah.
He uses traditional hand engraving techniques.
Okay.
Alongside modern pneumatic tools to create these stunning scenes, patterns, embellishments on guns.
Yeah.
It's not just decoration, it's storytelling.
And storytelling.
Absolutely.
Okay.
These engravings often have symbolic meanings reflecting the owner's personality, heritage, interests.
It's interesting.
It's like creating a personalized coat of arms.
Oh, wow.
But etched in metal.
So it's not just about making a gun look pretty.
No.
It's about imbuing it with meaning.
Right.
with a story.
Precisely.
And you see this same level of artistry and personalization in the work of contemporary jewelry engravers as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, they're keeping the tradition of hand engraving alive.
Yeah.
Creating these intricate patterns, miniature portraits, even personalized inscriptions on rings, pendants, other pieces.
Like they're capturing a moment in time.
Yeah.
A memory, an emotion, and preserving it in metal.
And it's no wonder that those pieces become cherished heirlooms.
Right.
Passed down through generations.
Exactly.
There's a tangible connection to the past.
Yeah.
To the artisan who created it.
Right.
That you just don't get with mass-produced jewelry.
You don't.
But speaking of connections,
Yeah.
I think it's important to remember those master engravers who are working behind the scenes.
Okay, behind the scenes.
The ones creating the intricate designs for banknotes and security documents.
Right, those are the engravers whose work we see every day.
Yeah.
But we might not even realize it.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like the unsung heroes of the financial world.
I like that.
Yeah.
Unsung heroes.
Yeah.
They're using those same traditional techniques honed over centuries to create microscopic details that are nearly impossible to duplicate.
Yeah.
It's a testament to their skill and dedication.
It really is. It's like they're waging a secret war against counterfeiters, armed with their burins and their incredible precision.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
This centuries-old craft is still playing a vital role in protecting our economies.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not just about art. It's about security. It's about trust.
It's a reminder that engraving, in all its forms, is more than just a technique.
It is.
It's a skill, a craft, a tradition that continues to impact our lives in ways we might not always recognize.
I couldn't agree more.
Right.
It's a story that's still unfolding.
It is.
Who knows what new chapters will be written in the future of engraving?
That's what makes this so exciting.
Yeah.
We've seen how adaptable this art form is, how it's evolved and reinvented itself over time.
Right.
Who's to say what incredible things engravers will create in the years to come?
I can't wait to find out.
Me either.
You know, perhaps we'll see a fusion of traditional hand engraving with cutting-edge digital technologies, leading to entirely new forms of expression. Or maybe engraving will find its way into fields we haven't even considered yet.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless.
They are.
And that's what we hope you take away from this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Engraving is more than just an ancient craft.
Right.
It's a living, breathing art form.
Yes.
With a rich history and an exciting future.
It's a testament to human creativity, our ingenuity.
Yeah.
Our desire to leave our mark on the world.
Right.
To make something beautiful, meaningful, and lasting.
Well, that just about wraps up our deep dive into the world of engraving.
It does.
We hope you found it as engraving as we did.
I hope so.
And who knows, maybe it sparked an interest in you.
Yeah.
A desire to explore this fascinating craft further.
Maybe.
There's a whole world of engraved treasures out there.
There is.
From ancient artifacts to modern masterpieces.
Exactly.
Just waiting to be discovered.
So keep exploring.
Yeah.
Keep learning.
Keep learning.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll even pick up a burin yourself.
Right.
And create something amazing.
That's right.
Until next time, keep diving deep.